So, my talk today, a little bit about me. My name is John Flynn, and I'm originally from Lexington, Kentucky. I was born here, and then my parents decided to ship me off to New England for a while to a fancy school. And I got sick of that because it was cold and moved to Florida, and then came back here in '06. And I've worked in both the management side and the tech side on and off since about 2004 or 5. So, I'm going to talk about the power of building your network through being social. Here's kind of like a more professional overview. We'll just skip that for now. One of my favorite quotes is by the legendary investor Warren Buffett. Invest in yourself. One of the easiest ways to become worth 50% more than you are now, at least, is to hone your communication skills, both written and verbal. If you can't communicate, it's like winking at a girl in a dark room. Nothing happens. You can have all the brain power in the world, but you have to be able to transmit it. And a lot of what we're hearing from employers when we're reaching out to employers is people from tech that we've trained come in and they can't talk about what they've built or their code, or the interviews are just bad. And I remember being a manager and being at hiring events and talking to hundreds of applicants, and one of my base things to get to the second round was, can you have a conversation with me for 5 minutes? Is it gonna be awkward and weird? Are you gonna say anything? If you can communicate for 5 minutes with me, you're probably gonna get a second interview. It's not a high bar, but a lot of people failed it. And we're hearing that a lot from employers. So what I'm gonna cover today is kind of being social in the world today. I know in 2020, it was really hard to be social. And I actually remember, I don't think Nick's here anymore, but I remember going down to Awesome Inc. and I was like, what do you guys have that like we can get like back out in the world and talk to people and be in a room with other people again? Because I'm sick of being at home on a Zoom call all the time, even though that's pretty much all I do now. So I've been thinking about this idea of being the gregarious programmer, somebody who tends to be sociable and likable and can go out and communicate what they're doing. So we're going to talk about some of the local options, because the first place you kind of want to start is locally. And I know Justin spoke about the Google Developers Group. It's a great free option. I believe it's all free. And Google is also doing a thing with the Lexington Public Library that Ember is also helping with. And they have a grant-funded program to teach Kotlin courses to kids ages 16 to 24. I believe they're going to continue that after this summer, and they will be looking for people to help mentor that program. So if you're looking for some work experience or mentor experience, that's going to be a great program. Reach out to the library, reach out to me, or Ember, I think, could help you too. Another thing that I work with, I also used to work a little bit with Awesome Inc. doing some coding camps. Another great organization to work with here locally. They have a lot of great events. 5 Across, I highly recommend. And they also do demo days, which are great. But Code Kentucky, probably haven't heard much about it here in Lexington. It originally started in Louisville with the funding from the city of Louisville as Code Louisville. And then they got a grant from the state, I think the Workforce Development Cabinet, to do rural job development, which in Kentucky, every county's rural except for Jefferson and Fayette. So it was 118 counties plus Code Louisville in Louisville. Lexington is their last county. They will be opening up in the fall, I think for our fall classes, in Lexington, accepting students here. And we're also looking for mentors, and we are looking to work with local businesses on hiring students who've already graduated, or, mentors are always looking for jobs if they're leaving someplace, and for new students graduating. So the Grow with Google, the Kotlin course, like I said, that's a grant-funded course that the library applied for a grant with Google. It's a great way to get to know, I guess, local programmers and get to know some of the students I think there's some UK students taking the course, and there's some local high school students taking the course. Also, the Lexington Public Library has changed a lot. You probably don't know, it's not just about books now. The library we work at, they have a digital studio they have green screens, recording booths, video editing, audio editing. They have CNC machines, 3D printers. They have a food bank, and I believe if you go in the afternoon, they have snacks and a video game room where you can go play like air hockey, foosball, and I think they have an Xbox set up. Some console, I'm not sure which one. So, Code Kentucky. Right now, Code Kentucky is offering 3 pathways, and we have 2 optional occasional pathways. We have our web development pathway, which is probably the most popular kind of entry-level pathway. It really focuses on web development, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, kind of building websites. And then our next most popular is probably the Python data analysis. I don't know a whole lot about that. I've subbed for some mentors on that. I'm still kind of learning that. I know more Python than the Python data analysis, but I know that's a very popular pathway. It can open you up to a lot of different things. And then our other harder pathway is the C# software development pathway. It's popular, but it also has a pretty big dropout rate, unfortunately. But we're trying to work on changing our model to a more modular model so people can complete stuff, and then if they have to drop out, because a lot of the people in the program are changing careers, so their lives are very busy. But that's the program we're really, really looking for mentors for, is C# software development. So if you have any experience in software development or C#, we're definitely looking for people for that. We're looking for people for the other pathways as well. And since this cohort started, we started with 500 students this month, and we have about 1,200 on our wait list for the next few months. So we're looking to grow. We capped it at 500 because we thought we could manage that, and we're trying. So we're trying to get more mentors. That's kind of where we're really stuck, and find more people to work with at local businesses for hiring once the students are done. So some of the benefits of mentoring I found, because I started with them as a mentor, is I've learned more about how I learn and how other people learn while mentoring. I realized it takes about 6 weeks for our students to even get comfortable talking to each other or being on a Zoom call. The first 6 weeks is very quiet on the Zoom calls. Nobody has their cameras on, and getting them to share code, which is really what we want them to do, is to share what code they've written and speak about it. So when they go to a job interview, they're a little more fluent in talking about their technology. But it takes us about 6 weeks to get to that point. And also, usually at the 6-week point, we have a lot less students in the class. So we've tried different things like breakout rooms and making the class sizes smaller and having like one-on-one sessions with students, which has helped out a lot. But I've learned a lot of different techniques to working with the students, especially kind of just telling them they need to do it at a certain point. They're not too happy with that always, but they get more comfortable, and the class just becomes more fun. You start to talk about different things, and I definitely think people learn a lot more. So we're also looking to work with organizations who are looking to hire. We also want to meet with them and see what their needs are. That's the benefit of working with Code Kentucky. We're local, and if we can tailor certain things to what you're looking for, we'll try to do that. We also offer occasionally a QA and a UI pathway. We don't offer that every cohort because we just don't have enough people who are interested in it. I think also not enough people understand what the options are in those careers. That's what we try to explain to the students too, is when you come in, and this is kind of hard for them to understand sometimes, is when they sign up for software development, they're like, I'm getting a software development job when I leave here. Just get a tech job. Start there. You're probably not going to get a 100K software development job when you leave here. It's very unlikely. Just get in the door and then build your skills up from there. And I've talked to Justin about this before, is, if you go into something like this and you get into it and you do get that, 40, 50, 60K job, you're probably going to be looking to go to other boot camps and further your education, or other classes that, are expensive to do when you're changing careers. So I'm going to play this mentor video real quick. How am I doing on time? 2 minutes.
Mentors come in and they think, oh man, this is going to be so hard, what if I don't know what they're going to ask? The students at Coca are just starting their journey on computer engineering and computer programming, and so you're going to get some people that need help just installing Visual Studio or understanding what an IDE is. They're not going to know what a coding language is. And so if you work in the computing industry, you know enough, you are competent enough to be able to solve their problems, so just relax and listen a little. Just remember, you're dealing with beginners. You're not dealing with your coworkers that have expertise in this. You're trying to meet the students in their spot, which they don't know how to code, they don't know how to do any of this. Sometimes you need to just construct a problem and say, how do I write a function in Python? And just say it out loud. And then be like, you know what, I'm just going to Google it real quick. Even though you might know the answer, it's okay that you know the answer. You're just teaching them constantly, hey, it's okay to Google something. I might even Google it with not the $5 words, right? Like instead of saying, oh, Python, how it iterates, like iterate is a $5 word. You know it because you've been coding for a long time. They might not know it. And so instead of Googling iterate, you might Google how to go over a list of things in Python. And that's like plain English. They might have thought of that, and that'll help them realize it's okay that they don't know the answer, and it's okay to go look it up.
I'm going to let you guys go to our website and see the rest of that if you want to see it. And then I'll flip through these real quick. I just got a few more. Oh. So local regional organizations, we've got Code Louisville, Code Kentucky. There's the Louisville Tech organizations, Cincinnati Tech. We've got Bluegrass Developers Guild. Codapalooza is a great resource in Louisville as well. I'm really fond of the Young Professionals and the Urban League Young Professionals, which a lot of people might not know about. It's another great organization. Also working with other nonprofits, we've got Awesome Inc., Lexington Public Library, Bluegrass Developers Guild, the Undercover Lex, which we held recently, if anybody got to that. And that's the end. Thank you guys, appreciate it.